Michael in Acton, Mass. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. But call me Mo Better, because I'm maybe seeing Mo Better, looking Mo Better, and show everyone else how I bring that love and feeling when I cut the Zeiss photochromic extra gray lenses with the silver flash mirror for your RayBan 8412, which is a nylon semi-rimless frame with a nylon string, color 2502, which is the gunmetal, and the 54 eye size. Let me take everything out of the original packaging. The carbon fiber case, that is that checkerboard pattern that only their carbon fiber frames come in. Of course, you even get the matching carbon fiber patterned cleaning cloth with a string and a ribbon, which you're going to keep because I use my own. And it actually comes with a plastic sleeve on each temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. I'm going to put that on there when I ship to you. But this is nice. That carbon fiber is extremely strong, extremely lightweight. It's got the gunmetal front on there, and it's got the, what they call the blue with the camouflage RayBan pattern on the inside, where RayBan is just written numerous times. Really nice lightweight frame. The carbon fiber is as strong as it gets and lightweight. Now the one thing you can't do is bend it down here to tighten it. It actually already comes with a little bowed in with a wrap form to wrap around your head. It's got some really nice rubber grips. But if you need to, if these ever need to be loosened, you can go to an optical shop. They can take a pair of single-sided padded pliers, put the metal on the inside, the pads there. If you need to tighten it, just bend it inward here at the hinge. If it's too tight, you can loosen it by bending it outward, bringing that hinge out. So I need to assign a number to this. You are 2655. You need to play that number in the lottery. But, oh, I left my blue paper clip over by my computer when I was downloading the last one. You know what? I'm going to go with the gunmetal paper clip to go with the gunmetal frame and the silver mirrored lenses. We're going to be matching today. I'm all about matching. So, let me clip that on there. I'm going to program this shape into the computer so years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I can mail them right to your home. Oh, I was about to hit the start button, but I'm a little too early. I need to, normally I trace a frame, but there is no frame to trace, so I'm going to put 2 dots on the lens and then use another tool. Let's make that, I always like making that as skinny as possible. Let's do this. I don't like big dots. Skinny lets me nail what I'm trying to do. Now, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You know I'm going to sneak that joke in there somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to take the lens out, put it into the tracing pattern. It's got its own little sticker. I'm going to pull away those 2 dots. I have a line in the background. The reason I put those 2 dots on there, it tells me that everything is lined up in there perfectly. Press that on there, place that into the tracing portion of the machine, telling it to trace just the right lens. It's going to ask me the bridge size. The computer starts at 18, but the bridge is 17, so we're going to enter that information. A little stylus is going to pop up, go around and trace the outer circumference of the right lens. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy any genuine, authentic RayBan frame that I sell, and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance, you will get reimbursed for your out-of-network portion, or if you have a health savings account, Flex Dollars, you will get reimbursed for that. Look at me rolling my sleeves up, getting ready to go to work. Let's do some work. Let's find some work. All right. So, need to enter your pupillary distance, which is 63.5. Now my computer, I can't do 3/4 increments. So what I'm going to do is do 31.5 to make it 63. I'm going to tap the minus button a couple times to do there. Let's raise the optical center up to 2.5, and we're going to cut this at 17.5 high, 2.5 above center. So these are single vision lenses. I need to go ahead and get them dotted up. Let's turn the axis wheel to 180. Put the power drum on -1. Let's make sure everything's on 0. Yep. I was cutting some prism earlier today. Make sure everything's back on 0. I'm going to rotate the lens until the spherical component comes into view first. because your prescriptions are so similar. The lab's got R and L written on the lens already, but I never trust that. Let me just read the astigmatism correction, because that's how I can separate it. -1, -1. That is perfect. You have a little bit more astigmatism in your right lens than you do your left. That's how I can tell them apart. So let me darken these so you guys can follow along at home. That is the right lens. Even though it's written on there, I always double check and write it in a different color ink. Now put the power drum on -1. Find the optical center of the lens. Check the astigmatism correction. Not as strong as the right, so I know. Just double verify this is the left lens. Although, you know what? This is off-centered, so I see this in advance. That's why I don't trust the lab's marking. They wrote it on the bottom of the lens. I'm going to do the top half of the lens, since that's where I decenter. Nothing against the lab, whoever marks them, but they do 1,000 pairs of lenses a day. I slow it down and make sure it's done right. So this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it's cutting, so I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got 2 right here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the first block. Place on the platform. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. That silver button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. First time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. And I'm just rotating the platform so those arms are not in the way, so I can see those 3 dots. Now again, your PD is 63.5. I have it set for 63. So the blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that and inset in the orange crosshairs. So I'm going to get these lined up where it should be to be at 63, and then I'm going to move it ever so slightly, about a 1/4 millimeter out. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. Excuse me. Got some sawdust, and as I talk, my throat gets dry. Don't worry, I don't have the coronavirus. Of course, it would be nice to have a day off from work, but am I complaining? Hey, how about a little less whining while I'm working here? Okay, so 31.5. Just out of curiosity, can I do 31.75? No, thank you for trying. Hey, I took a shot. I took a shot. My machine said, forget about it. I'm going to do what I want. So I moved it over just a little bit to give me that extra 1/4 millimeter. And hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now, this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter, then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you will need this guy with the 2 thumbs to do it for you. But the actual cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material till it's the final size. This wheel in the center that normally does the bevel has a flat wheel on it, and that's going to flatten everything off. You have a semi-rimless frame, so let's show you what's it's actually going to cut a groove into the lens. Let me clean everything off too. Come on, clean everything off. All this optical sawdust, the Schwarf from the safety bevels that I've put on there. I'm going to clean all that off. Look, it's Christmas. Sprinkle this under the Christmas tree. Get a little optical sawdust there that's over on the edge. Come down here, toss that. So this blade is going to cut the groove into your lens. This wheel, that's what applies the safety bevel. This is a very fine grit sandpaper versus the heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your lens material. Should these be a drill mount frame, that's the drill bit that would drill the holes in the lens. So let's go ahead and go back. We're going to wake up the computer, have job ID number 2655, which is up here, 2655, or as I like to call it, installment 2655 of my 330 million volume series of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. Now this is showing me the bevel. I can do a metal or plastic bevel, but this is semi-rimless, so it's going to cut a groove. I'm going to put a safety bevel on the front. That's one of the rare times I am going to put a safety bevel on the front of the lens, a very light one, and I'm going to do a heavier bevel on the back surface. Now I'm going to press the sticker on there firmly. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles. Hit the green button. The door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens will be traced by the 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to go around first time around. Tracing the shape of the right lens, which is missing. And then the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once, is measuring the thickness to know where to place the bevel. So you have the best cosmetic look possible. Now the cutting wheel is starting up. The lens will drop down on the cutting wheel in just a moment. The water in the background is there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, meaning that no water sprays onto the lens, whereas plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens the entire time it's cutting. Now water will spray onto your lens, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away any of the optical debris that you see beginning to form. Now, as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. These lenses are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics-grade lens material, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. It also has 100% UVA and B protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun there in Acton, Massachusetts. Now Zeiss offers the most complete lens protection. Their UV protection goes all the way up to 400 nanometers. It's so complete, it is the only lens that has partnered with the American Cancer Society because of the level of protection you get. You get sunglass level protection in a clear lens. Now, speaking of protection, you have the PhotoFusion Extra Gray with a silver flash mirror, but the PhotoFusion Extra Gray will block 50 to 70% of the harmful blue light emitted from today's electronic devices. You have the silver flash mirror on the front of the lens. You have an anti-glare coating on the back of the lens, so you get all of the add-ons without sacrificing anything. You get the blue light protection, you get the photochromic extra gray protection that will even turn 30 to 50% dark inside of a car. You have the anti-glare coating, which reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but street lights, stoplights, computer screens and such. So now it's going to go on to the blade wheel to cut the groove into the lens, to where it's going to make it where the string holds it in place. Now you got the silver flash mirror that's available only on the extra active gray lenses. You have a choice of 4 colors: silver, gold, green, and blue from Zeiss. Essilor only does it in 1 lab in the US, and right now they're closed to the coronavirus, but there's 2 additional colors from them, the red and pink. Now theirs is not as complete of a coating. You have to hold the frame or turn your head for people to really see the mirror coating. Zeiss does everything in that. By the way, Essilor takes 2 weeks to ship when they're not going to be backed up when they do reopen. Zeiss does everything in-house, and they have the most complete mirror coating, almost like a true sunglass mirror. Doesn't matter which way you hold your head, everyone's going to see that silver mirrored lens. It's going to be nice. So it's going back onto the flat wheel just to smooth out anything left over from the cutting surface, the cutting cycle. You can see all the optical sawdust that is still on the edges of the lenses. So water has begun spraying on there. It tells me it's in the last 20 seconds. In just a moment, a lever is going to come out. At the end of that lever is going to be the disc that does the safety bevel. Cue the lever. So now it's going to do a very light bevel on the front concave surface of the lens, smoothing everything out, and then it's going to do a slightly heavier bevel on the rear concave version. I'm sorry, now it's doing the convex front surface, and it'll soon do the concave rear surface. The string mount lenses, this is known as a string mount because that's what is mounted into the lens with. They take a little bit longer time. Just a moment, I'll open this door with my mind. If you like that, I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours and then it'll melt. Alright, so I'm going to dry everything off, use my thumbnail to run around the edge of the lens. And actually, let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. Let's flip that over to L, place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or today I'm calling it the Michael. Hit the green start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. This time it's going to trace the left lens to make sure it's large enough to fit into the left side of the frame. And you can see as it's going around doing that. And then measuring the thickness to know where to place the bevel. Of course, I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to take the block off, pull the sticker away, add to my sticker collection. I'm going to come down here, run my thumbnail around to make sure all the optical sawdust is off the front and the back of the lens. Just to make sure I get everything out of the bevel, I'm going to take this toothbrush to get in there. Now you hear that old saying, you got to have the right tool for that job. This time that little tool is a little piece of ribbon for wrapping a present. I have my own here, it's folded in half. The reason why it's folded in half, well, first I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corners. If you're ever at a dinner party or anything else and someone's lens pops out because they're not made by me, you got your little tool, you can have your MacGyver moment, tell everyone, back up, I got this. Take your ribbon, fold it in half. I grab the string. The reason why it's folded in half, so I can grab both sides. I start at the outside corner, go over that edge, and then once head towards the nasal area of the frame, actually wait, the string that is there, I want to make sure that is tucked in. No protruding strings, please. Not on my shift. So, again, start at the outside corner. Once it's in there, I work my way towards the nose. When you hear that sound, it's in the strap in the unbreakable lens. Place my finger on there, slide the strap out. Now we're in there. We're going to come down here to the lensometer to start what's known as final inspection. The wheel is still at 180. I didn't have to move it. Find the optical center of the lens. Read the power. I'm getting -1 in the reds. That's because everything is in quarter increments. In the optical world, the unit of measurement is called a diopter and starts at 0 and goes up from there, 0.25, 0.50, 75, 1. So you have 1 diopter of far-sighted correction. With your glasses off, everything is much too large. That's why there's a minus sign. Now you have a second curve. You have a spherical curve, and 90 degrees away you have the astigmatic curve. So you have another full diopter of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike with the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob, and we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 180. A straight line is 0 to 90 to 180. Really, this is the same number. 0 and 180 is on the horizontal meridian. So let's check the second curve, and we're at -2. Because if someone borrowed $1 from you, then they borrowed another $1, they would owe you $2 in the red, and that's where we are at. Now the left eye, you only need 3 steps of far-sighted correction, but the same amount of astigmatism correction at the same axis, which is actually very rare. This first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. Now the RayBan 8412 carbon fiber frame sells for $225. The PhotoFusion Extra Gray lens adds $129.99. The Silver Flash Mirror $69.99 for a total of $424.98 tax-free. The reason why I point out tax-free is a lot of people on the internet are having to charge tax now. Wait, the PD's off, so I need to put that back on there. Let me put that dot back on there. But I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device. There is no tax on medical devices, so that's why I don't have to charge tax, and I will be tax-free. Now, I also include free shipping anywhere in the U.S., and Acton, Massachusetts is in the U.S. So it's going around smoothing everything out left over from the cutting cycle. Just a moment, water will spray onto the lens. Look at that. They say they never make you proud when you want. It did. And then once everything is cleaned off, a lever is going to come out to apply the safety bevels to both the front and the back surface of the lens. Starting with the front of the lens. And then it's going to apply a little bit more force, smoothing out things even more so on the back of the lens. I always like a little bit smoother on the back should any portion of this lens come into contact with your cheek, which it won't during normal circumstances, but if you fall asleep with it on, anything like that, I want the back surface of the lens to be even smoother. The reason why these will never touch your face is because of nose pads. Nose pads create separation from the face. A plastic lens frame, is more likely to touch your face than a metal or semi-rimless because of the nose pads. The other nice thing about nose pads right now, they fog up less when you're wearing a mask because they create separation. So what I do with my glasses when I'm wearing a mask, it only works when I'm wearing a mask. If this were my face, I push it away just a little bit, and the straps on the side of the mask seem to hold it in place a little bit better, and they don't fog up. That's one of the unintended consequences of wearing a mask all the time. So, let's take the block off, pull the sticker away, add to my sticker collection, run my thumbnail around, a little bit of optical sawdust, and let that drop into the trash can. I know, in years past, I would just drop that on the floor, but I'm such a more mature, sophisticated person than I was yesterday. You hear that, honey? I'm much more sophisticated. I asked my wife, I said, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think I would be so sophisticated? And she said, Seymour, you're not in my wildest dreams. Oh, I get no respect. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this lens out. Pop the demo lens on the counter, which you'll be receiving along with this one. Don't worry, I will clean those two dots off before you get that one. Let's tuck everything in, getting that string sandwiched in there. Same thing on this side. Where's my strap? There it is. Put that on there. Start at the outside corner. When you hear the snap, it's in there. Put your finger on the string, slide that out, turn the, hey, it actually does still have a dot left. Let me darken that so you guys can see it at home, or wherever you're watching this from. Same axis, I don't have to change that. I'm getting minus 75, one tick mark away from 1, minus 75. Now we're going to subtract 1 from minus 75. Hopefully, if all goes well, we will. And look at that, we're at minus 175, one tick mark away from 2, so that is cut perfectly. Now drum roll please, your PD is 63.5. Optical center height of 17.5. We're going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb. Actually, let me tuck that lens in a little bit more. All part of final inspection. Turn the card around, place the PD stick against the lens, and when we hold it up, look at that, 63.5, just shy of 64. That, the kit is good. Optical center height of 17.5. I never tell you to measure at the bottom of the lens. Well, this time you get to, all right? Look at that, 17.5. Man, the kid is good. The kid is good. So, this is the portion of every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that there's free shipping anywhere in the U.S. and Acton, Massachusetts is in the U.S. And so, But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. Now see with me, look at that. See with me wrestling with this? So let me get this in standard alignment. Just check to make sure everything's in there perfectly. I'm going to have to clean my fingerprints off again. There we go. There is no wobble. And now when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I'm wearing the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer, color 6053, the blue crystal, to go with my blue shirts with the print. And of course that crystal helps pick up my wisdom highlights I got coming in over my ears. Flip that over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. Now I send out a selfie request in every package. Michael, I would love to have 2 selfies, one with you indoors with these clear, one with you outside showing the silver mirror. I also send out cleaning instructions, not only for your frame and lenses so they will last you for years, but for your RayBan cleaning cloth, the Zeiss cleaning cloth, and the premium microfiber cloth that I provide, as well as instructions on how to clean your case so it too will last you for years. I field test every cleaning cloth, so Michael, when you get these in the mail and you see that wrinkle in there, you know that it works. You can't say that it doesn't. So let's go ahead. This is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. As you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for photochromic transition lenses to darken. A little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute, minute 15. Now this is important, Michael and everyone else. All photochromic transition lenses will turn dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks are exposed to the sun. After that, they work for years at maximum performance. The only time that regular photochromic transition lenses won't darken is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Man, look at that, especially with that silver color front. That looks nice. That looks nice. But the reason why they don't turn dark in a car is because your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause them to cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they don't turn dark in a car. That's the regular photochromic transition. Now, if you have a convertible or motorcycle, they will. Now, these extra active lenses will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. The other thing about photochromic lenses, they're temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind you, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Now, when you look out, you're going to see the gray. When people look at you, they're going to see that silver mirror color. That looks really good in this frame, really good. That's a nice touch, nice touch. Of course, you got the silver front, the carbon fiber temples, you got the blue on the inside that only people will see when these lenses are clear, and you turn your head, they'll look through your lens and see the blue on the inside, or if you put your head down, look down, they can see it then. But do me a favor, like this video, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, click the bell icon so you can get notifications as videos pop up with different frame and lens combinations. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as Free Prescription Lenses, on Twitter as Free RX Lenses. If you have any questions, now this frame does come in 2 sizes, the 54 and the 52. It comes in about 5 or 6 colors, but if there's a frame you want that I don't have on the website, just go to the contact me page of the website, let me know which model number frame you want, and I'll get your price and availability on it and get it onto the website for you. I just don't have time to get them all up there. The RayBan's making more frames than I can put on the website, but I can play catch up, don't you worry. It takes me a while to pick things up. I didn't get a birthmark till I was 7, okay? All right, so where was I? I was about to thank you, Michael, again. Thank you for the purchase of the RayBan 8412, the carbon fiber frame, the 54 eye size, the color 2502, which is the gunmetal, with your PhotoFusion extra gray lenses and the silver flash mirror. And now hopefully everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.